to another episode of the G Show podcast. I am G1, and this is the Godzilla Block Party. Now, don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't beat me up in the comments. Please subscribe, resubscribe, tell your people to subscribe. It's been a while. It has been a while. That's my bad, okay? That's my bad. You know why? I've been watching Godzilla vs. Kong on loop over and over and over and over again. Because I'm pretty sure I let everybody know that it is my favorite movie in the Monsterverse. And it is, without a shadow of a doubt, my favorite movie in the Monsterverse. And yes, I still love the 2014 Godzilla. I love it the way I love Godzilla 1954. The start of something beautiful. But Godzilla vs. Kong is my absolute favorite, and I've been watching it non-stop, especially now since it's been out on VOD for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks by now, and I've been watching it ever since, and I can't wait to get my hands on the Steelbook 4K beautiful thing. I don't know where it's coming from, whether it's a Best Buy exclusive, Target exclusive, Walmart exclusive, or just Amazon, but I'm buying it. It's dope. I'm rambling. So, let that be said, let me introduce you to my right hand when it comes to Godzilla on the G Show. G73, a.k.a. Megzy, a.k.a. my brother Chase. It's been way too long. How the hell are you?
Oh, man, I'm hanging in there. It's been a while.
It's been a while. I mean, dude, last time we've been on the Godzilla Block Party was our review for Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah.
And that's according to the calendar here on my computer, it says June 6th. We haven't been on the block party together since about, I don't know, April 3rd? You know? about that? I know it was the Thursday after that movie came out, but anyhow. So much has gone down since Godzilla vs. Kong has come out. Within the past 2 months, from April and May to today, so much has happened. Okay, obviously Godzilla vs. Kong has come out, but we had the Godzilla ride in Universal Japan, right? Which is, we're going to talk a bit about that. We've also had, and this ain't out on Netflix yet, but if you know where to look, it's available. Godzilla Singular Point, which right now, as of this recording, is up to 11 episodes. And there's only 2 left. And by the time that second episode is over, the following week, it's going to come on Netflix for everybody else. And that's pretty much going to be the crux of this podcast. Without getting into too much spoilers, but I want to talk about that. But before I do, brother, that Godzilla ride, that Godzilla design, my God, when I tell you, if there was ever a time to pull the trigger for Toho to make a brand new Godzilla movie using a brand new Godzilla design, it is now, and it is with that design. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely correct. That design was beautiful. That was one of the best Godzilla designs I've ever seen.
It's absolutely gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's hard to explain, and it's CG.
And that CG was not bad, mind you.
Absolutely. Now, okay, what was Godzilla's first full-fledged CG Toho-wise?
Wasn't it? Oh shit! Wasn't it? Wouldn't it have been 2000? Are you swimming in the ocean?
No, all right. So I should have refined that question. No, yes, it was, but I meant as far as a full-fledged CG Godzilla for a sequence. It wasn't even a Godzilla movie. It was
Yeah, it was Always Sunny or something like that, or
Always Dreaming, or I think it was just called Always 2.
yeah, called Always Two or something like that.
Right, where we got a full CG Godzilla for the first time since 1998, right?
Right.
And it was dope. It was dope. It worked. I loved it. But my God, man.
Well, it's interesting, I don't know if you remember, but Gam Gam said the guy who created that Godzilla is the guy that did this. They're the same people.
Oh, and you can see it because there's some
major similarities.
Right. And that's what I love about it. So now you had that come out. Then you had 2014 come out a little bit later, right? And you're looking at 2014, and of course it's all CG. Then King of the Monsters. Then of course Godzilla vs. Kong. And Godzilla just looked better and better as each movie progressed in terms of quality of the CG. Godzilla vs. Kong to me is the pinnacle of Godzilla in the Legendary Universe. You see him beautifully in the water during a daytime fight scene with Kong on the ocean. In the ocean, I should say. Godzilla looks great in Hong Kong. You not only see him at night, but you also see him in the daytime when he fights Mechagodzilla. And none of this is spoilers now because the movie's been out for 2 months and it is now available on VOD. So if anybody's still complaining about, I want to see it in theater, tough titties, it's out. Go watch that shit right now. I'm sorry. I am. Because in 9 days from this recording, the Blu-ray is going to be out. So let's stop, playing with each other. The movie's out. So I don't want to hear it. So yeah, Godzilla vs. Kong was the best CG version of Godzilla I've seen so far. Again, you had all aspects, day, night, water sequences, and they all pop. And then, what? A week or two after the movie premieres on HBO Max, that when it's off of HBO Max, so let's say what would we say? In May? The first week of May? Second week of May?
Yeah, it's like almost like May 3rd.
Right. We get the phenomenal, and I mean this with every ounce of my being, phenomenal looking new Toho Godzilla for the ride. That is a mix of the Heisei Godzilla and the Legendary Godzilla. And it is absolutely gorgeous. And it has absolutely maintained some of those features from the Always 2 movie. It's there. You can see
the face.
Yes. And the face is not so much what it looked like then, but you can totally see it. It's like an older brother with far more detail. It is the best thing I've seen from Godzilla in terms of live action from Toho since 2005. That's right, I said it. Fuck you, Shin Godzilla.
Concept piece.
Yeah, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. Okay, I love this thing. I cannot wait to own this figure. I'm going to buy that toy. As soon as it's available in the Toho store, the Godzilla store, pre-ordering it. I don't care what the shipping is going to cost me. I want that. I want it. The fucking figure looked fantastic. I need that thing. I need that thing in my life. I love it. So, what do you think? Should this be the Toho Godzilla design if they were to make another movie going forward?
I think so. I mean, with taking into account what they're doing with technically Shin Godzilla right now, I think for their cinematic universe, I think if they really want to kind of appease everyone, I think this would be the way to go. Because I think that design, it embodies It embodies the whole 60 plus years of its legacy and the continuation of what we have now. And I think that means more to me than, getting a whole new fledged, Shin Godzilla sequel. I think that design, I mean, it's not complicated. And you think about it, it's a really simple design, but yet it's so original in its own right. Like it is a perfect staple to the King of the Monsters, and that's how I feel about it. I would love to see a cinematic movie with Godzilla looking like that.
You fucking nailed it. It embodies Godzilla in all of its years, in all of its forms. It really does. It really does. I can't even talk how it's amazing. It's magnificent. It is the magnificent Godzilla. That's what I'm gonna dub it. It's the magnificent Godzilla. And I'm a Heisei fanboy. My Godzilla is the King Ghidorah Godzilla, the Mecha Godzilla 2 Godzilla. Like, that's my Godzilla. I love that. This thing, magnificent Godzilla. And I love it. It blows everything out of the fucking water. It's gorgeous to look at. And Toho was right to take elements of the legendary version and then incorporate it into Godzilla, their Godzilla. Because make no mistake, it's Toho. Toho owns Toho. Godzilla is Toho. And to see just the ensemble, just them piecing it together, that thing blows my mind. But that's the design. Let's talk about the ride itself, because it's out there. You can watch the entire thing on YouTube. Thankfully, Brother Chase here sent it to us in the Godzilla Block Party messenger chat. Bro, I'm a sucker, okay? I go to Disney with my wife and daughter. They love it. All I want is Star Tours. I just want to go on Star Tours and have fun. And if we don't go to Disney and we're in California, we better go to Universal. So I can go on the Simpsons ride, which used to be Back to the Future, and I wish it was still Back to the Future because it's dope. But it's the Simpsons ride, and the Simpsons ride still works. I'm a sucker for those types of rides. That being said, if I can get a ticket to Japan right now, even though Japan right now, which is crazy, is dealing with some sort of form of Hedorah, which is nuts. I can't believe that shit is ravaging Japan, of all places. But it is. The shit ain't over yet, people. It's still not over. But if I was able to get a ticket and go to Japan, I am going straight to Universal Studios and jumping on that fucking ride. Because it was fantastic. Just looking at the video on YouTube, I felt like I was there. Everything it showed, I was like, yes. Rodan is in it. And hey, Michael Dougherty. Guess what Rodan has in that video? Oh, his iconic roar. Yes, that's right. I'm still bitter. I don't care if it's 2-3 years later. I'm still mad. But dude, wasn't that ride something else?
That ride looked fun. That thing looked like it was like a Godzilla. The Godzilla experience hopped up on speed. Being cheated. It's like when you're 4 years old for the first time and you take a sip of an energy drink or a soda. It's that experience. You start off getting chased by King Ghidorah, and you're fucking flying through the whole city, and then you get launched into the air, and then that's what it reminded me of. Just this big old explosion of just adrenaline.
It was so cool. I mean, even King Ghidorah looked dope, you know?
Yeah.
It looked like it had different faces for each head almost.
What's so funny is like, I remember when King of the Monsters was coming out, so many people were complaining about King Ghidorah being a wyvern and crawling on its, because it had, hands on its wings, and the wings, and they're they're crawling on the ground. I remember so many people were complaining that, and I just think it's so funny that Toho took that and used that complaint.
I'm trying to think right now. I'm trying to think without looking, but I do not recall OG King Ghidorah, Showa, or Hesai, or for that matter, even GMK King Ghidorah having fucking, like, hands on its wings. Rodan had them.
Yeah.
Rodan had fingers and hands, but I don't remember King Ghidorah having hands.
No.
Only in this and the Monsterverse. Even though, was it really hands, or was it just like the odd bone structure that he used to kind of propel himself forward? It doesn't really matter. It was a dope version. I loved it. I loved it more than the freaking anime King Ghidorah from, the Godzilla Earth trilogy.
Yeah.
It's King Ghidorah.
Mm.
Even if one of those mouths looked like a beak, it's King Ghidorah.
Yeah, that's interesting too. The beak face.
The beak face, yep.
That was something I never thought I would see on King Ghidorah, but, I mean, I'm not knocking it.
It reminded me of the Gauss.
Yeah.
From that, oh my God, made for concept trailer for Camera 2015?
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. I was like, oh shit, it looked like Gauss almost. But it ain't Gauss, it's Ghidorah. And yeah, I get some people's complaints that Ghidorah is overused. Some people might say Mechagodzilla is overused, especially now with GVK. I don't care as long as it works, right? Like, for instance, with Showa. For me, King Ghidorah in the Showa era always worked for me. Yes, the movies are out of order in terms of timelines, with Destroy All Monsters taking place in 1999, and I'm guessing that Godzilla vs. Gigan taking place before that, which is why we're seeing King Ghidorah afterwards. I never had a problem with that. Never had a problem with that. So I would love to see a new iteration of King Ghidorah, and if it's that one from the ride, yeah, so be it. I would love for Toho to be like, yeah, this ride was our concept. This was our proof of concept for a new movie. Yes, and that's fucked up because, I want a new Gamera film and shit, but no, you know what? Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me. I can't shit all over Shin Godzilla right now because it's not fair, because both of us don't like that movie and we could shit on it all day. But I will say, if Toho was going to resurrect Godzilla for live action, especially now that the Monsterverse, quote unquote, is done with Godzilla, this is the design I want. I want this. I want this because it's gorgeous and it's powerful. It's massive. It's Godzilla. You look at this thing and you think God. Not Shin Godzilla. This thing. Yes, that's the God Godzilla right here.
You definitely think deity in some shape or form.
Absolutely. This is the God Godzilla. And, whatever Toho got going, live action wise, coming, this is what I want. I would be so freaking blown away if they went and then did like the Godzilla 2000 concept. Like some random alligator looking, jagged long spikes, which I love it. I love that design. But I can't see that happening now, especially after this ride. We need that version of Godzilla in a movie. We need it.
It does make me excited though to see, like, okay, I mean, obviously Toho is keeping some things in mind with their future, so it's like, when they finally do a new live action Godzilla film within the next 5 years or so, what are they going to do?
Right.
Because I mean, we know it's coming. It's just when.
Right. Well, let me ask you, when do you think? Do you think within the next 5 years?
I don't. I mean, I would hope so, but the thing is because I think it just depends what really goes down with their talks with the MonsterVerse, because even though they make it leave off of Kong being the center of the MonsterVerse, I don't think Legendary is just going to pack up their stuff and give Godzilla back. I think there's going to be some negotiations, and I think it just depends what Toho agrees with, because back when Toho was saying, we have no problems leaving. They were saying, we have no problems with Godzilla being in Hollywood. We like the Hollywood films and stuff like that. Now with Godzilla versus Kong being what it was, it just, what are the negotiations really like? What's going to change? What's going on behind those closed doors? Like we always say, what's Toho talking about here? What's going on here? Before we see another MonsterVerse film, I think we'll see another Toho film before that. I just think that's just kind of how the formula goes with, Toho and its relationships with Hollywood. But so I don't know. I mean, I would say, if we don't see a live I would say within the next 5 years, there's got to be something that pops up Toho wise.
Right, I agree. Within the next 5 years, something has to. Godzilla ain't dead.
Right.
Period. In any universe, Toho, Legendary, animated, Godzilla's not dead. So within the next 5 years, Godzilla has to pop up somewhere, right? We can't go. When Toho was retiring Godzilla, there wasn't like a clamor for it. I'm not saying there's a clamor for it now, but there is more appeal to Godzilla now to just let him go away and hibernate for 10 years again. I mean, think about it. We didn't get a Godzilla for 9 years. 10. If you think about when Final Wars really came out, 2004, we saw it because remember in Japan those things were coming out in December. So December 2004, we didn't get Godzilla again until 2014. So it was a 10-year gap. I can't see a 10-year gap happening now. I just can't.
Now the iron's hot for Godzilla. They're not gonna
Right now.
It's just you have so much going on. You have. I mean, even the mobile games you have going on. Which, by the way, Godzilla Destruction is a really fun mobile game. People, I don't say that often, but it's an Android iPhone game. It's a lot of fun. Not just Godzilla in it. There's multiple monsters, but with the mobile games and the anime, and with the MonsterVerse, Godzilla, and possible potential video games and figures, and just Godzilla being kind of slowly growing in this pop culture again.
Yes.
They're not gonna just I mean, why would I think this is just the beginning? If they keep pushing, I think it's gonna. I think Godzilla's gonna make that turn to where this that I think with Godzilla versus Kong, with that making the waves, and then just everything else right now, I think if they push right now, I think Godzilla will have its perfect place in this culture where Toho wants him to be, and that will just continue to grow,
And that right there is what I think personally. This is exactly where Toho wants to be, and this is where I feel the most comfortable. Finally, talking about Toho's global Godzilla plan. We are here. It's happening. Listen, Godzilla versus Kong ain't no fluke. The movie was good. It came out in a pandemic and made money. In a pandemic, made money. It made money. Yes, there are other movies now that are coming out that are making more money, but also people have been vaccinated, so there's a lot more incentive to go to the movies now as opposed
what comes out in Japan like next week or something like that.
And that's almost 2 months removed because of the way everything's been happening in Japan, and so I'm just speaking for the States. But this is where I think Toho's master plan is coming to fruition. They wanted to globally brand Godzilla, not like Godzilla wasn't already a global brand. It's been around the entire world market, but Toho wanted to do it a different way. So here we are. We see a lot more Godzilla figures. We're seeing a shit ton of Godzilla merchandise, whether it comes to clothes, pins, magnets, mugs, post. It's insane. It's insane. And I think Toho has the right idea. They are absolutely striking while the iron is hot. And for me personally, the iron is going to stay hot. And this is where Toho now, we're going to get into it in a second. Godzilla Singular Point, yes. It's not on Netflix yet, right? But it is available. You can watch it. You can watch it subtitled. It's there. And I've watched all 11 episodes that have come out so far. And I'm going to talk about it without spoiling nothing. Except for one. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm just going to let you know that it is fucking fantastic. But Toho is rolling all of this out. Could Legendary still have Godzilla in its monsterverse? Yes. Will Godzilla show up within the next 2 to 3 or 4 years? No. I think right now we transition into Kong. We give Kong his due. We make Kong king. And not King of the Monsters, but King Kong. We give him its proper title because that's what Kong was. And if it wasn't for King Kong, there'd be no Godzilla. We know this from that Boss Coffee commercial that came out in Japan, which is one of, dude, like, I literally had tears coming down my eyeballs. That shit was gorgeous. I loved it. Even the Willis O'Brien touches when they showed Kong and them, doing the stop motion. It's such a well done commercial. So fucking kudos to everyone involved in that commercial. And then, of course, leading from, stop motion, claymation, whatever you want to call it, to suitmation, tokusatsu, and 1954's Godzilla. And good Lord, bro, you know what really got me with that commercial? And I know we're jumping all over the place, but it doesn't matter. When Godzilla's about to throw the atomic breath, and they kind of borrow from Legendary, kind of. But when you see the chest start to light up, like the grooves in Godzilla's chest light up blue right before he spits the atomic breath, bro, took my breath away.
Is that the one when they're fighting on the ice and they're like in the commercial? I'm trying to remember the commercial you're talking about.
The one that recently, the recent one, the one that just pretty much came out, where it was like the history of movie making. And
it's that thing with the 54 suit
at the end, yes.
Okay, yeah.
And the glow came up, and you could see it in the grooves of Godzilla's chest, and then he spits the atomic flame. I love that. And look, I'll be honest with you. I want to see that Godzilla the Ride Godzilla in a movie, right? But, and I'm not making this up. You know what I would love? Because they already remade the suit. I want to see 54 Godzilla remade using the same suit in color. A period piece where it happened in 1954, but with modern day technology. Film-wise. But all the models, throw a CG in there, everything makes it look like the 54. That's what I want to see. I would like to see a remake of the show ever. I would love it. That's what I would like. And don't get me wrong, I want to see a brand new Godzilla and all that shit, but because of that commercial, and that suit's been around now for about 2-3 years. That remade 54 suit. It's been around for about 2-3 years. Maybe 3-4 years. I would love to see a remake of 1954 using that suit. Using the 54 suit, but with the advanced technology of today as far as filmmaking goes. Bro, I think we would be blown away. And again, Godzilla, the original 54 movie, in my opinion, masterpiece. I love it. One of the greatest movies I've ever made. Did I say I've ever made? No, not I've ever seen. One of the greatest movies I've ever seen. And not because of my love for Godzilla, is because it holds up against some of the greatest non-kaiju monster movies I've ever seen. It's up there. It's up there. It's a fantastic film. I would love to see a remake of that using that suit because the suit's there. And again, I'm just a sucker, man. The fucking, oh my God, the glow in the grooves coming from the chest. God, oh my God, it was gorgeous, brother. I rambled. What do you think?
No, I agree. That commercial is beautiful. I got a big tear in my eye, and it made me remember, the reason why I love Godzilla and why I love Toho Godzilla. Not this, right now, legendary Godzilla is, if not my favorite, one of my favorite Godzillas.
Right.
But watching the Toho stuff and the thing they just did, it's like, don't forget where it all came from. And that's the part that's like, it's beautiful.
Right. And that's what that commercial, to me, that's what that commercial was saying. That was the message. Don't forget where it came from. Not Godzilla, right? But just movie making in general. The inspiration of just filmmaking to go from one place at the very beginning to where they went. Remember, film wasn't that old when Godzilla came out. Film wasn't that old when King Kong came out, and Godzilla was a fucking byproduct of King Kong. And yet, here we are. Looking at rides with a fucking Godzilla that is, again, to me, the most godlike, majestic Godzilla I've ever seen. I love it. I want it. I want that. I want it. But I digress. I want to speak about Godzilla Singular Point. And I know many of you probably have not seen it. I know you haven't seen it, Brother Chase. It's not on Netflix yet. It is available, if you know where to look, on the internet. There are still anime sites out there, and they're showing it. Some of them had really good dubs, and some of them, the dubs are, what the fuck is going on, you know? Right. So, I mean, like, we're 11 episodes in. I'm going to give a brief synopsis of the show without diving into spoilers, but I want to talk about episode 10, particularly the ending of episode 10. So before I get to episode 10's ending, Godzilla Singular Point, for me, is leaps and bounds, in my opinion, better than the Godzilla Earth trilogy. And I really like that first Godzilla Earth movie because, again, I said it a million times. I've always wanted to see like futuristic Czech fighting Godzilla, and they gave us that, and I enjoyed it. The second and third movie, no, I'm just not a fan. I can't defend them. I just can't. They were terrible. But what this does, what Singular Point does, that those three movies didn't, is this is a show. This is 23 minutes each episode, as opposed to an hour and 25 minutes each movie. And it builds on a mystery that I can't lie. At the very first episode, I'm like, okay, what's going on? We say, hey, it's Rodan. All right, there's Rodan's role, Michael Dougherty. That's what he sounds like, Michael Dougherty. I digress. And then, you know, there's something to do with a fucking song, and I'm like, what? And then there's a stinger ending, and you're like, whoa, what is going on? It's a mystery that now all of a sudden I'm hooked. I'm like, okay, that ending was dope. It got me hooked. I'm salivating for the next episode. You get it. And what they do is they pace themselves. They really do pace themselves. And I respect it. My issue is not with the show. It's with me. It's myself. The subtitles while watching this show, because you got to remember, it's not officially put out yet with subtitles by Toho. So these are fan subtitles, right? Fan subs. And there are 2, maybe 3 episodes of fan subs that it doesn't make any damn sense. So it kind of ruined the episode for me. I'm confused. What's going on? This doesn't make sense because of the way the subs are. Now I cannot wait to see the actual version. Well, not the actual version, because I'm watching the actual version. But I can't wait to see the Netflix version with English dialogue. And I don't say that about anime. I like anime and I like to read subtitles. Because to me, and I've said this a million times, however a show is recorded and dubbed, you get the most out of the actor in that. And to me, the only exception to that rule was Cowboy Bebop, because I tried to watch the Cowboy Bebop Japanese version and I never quite felt the emotion and the power that I felt with the dub version. And that's the only exception to the rule in my particular opinion. I know that Godzilla Singular Point is not going to be the greatest dubbed series. I know it. I saw the trailer. I heard the voices. I'm like, yep, there's that voice from this show, there's that voice from this show, and they sound the same. But I can't wait to hear it so I can watch it without having to read a subtitle and try to make sense of what the shit is saying while I'm reading it and not being able to see what's going on the screen because I'm too busy reading these subtitles. I can't wait to hear it. Now, if it doesn't make sense still, well, then it doesn't make sense. Doesn't take away from the fact that this show has some legitimate kaiju action, has some legitimate old school Showa feel, has some legitimate recognizable kaiju, and of course, Jet fucking Jaguar, which, I gotta be honest, I didn't know how I was gonna feel about it. Oh, I cannot wait till the next episode because I have a feeling Jet Jaguar is going to go big or go home. And I'm stoked. Yes. And I'm stoked. So, again, no spoilers. The show's dope. I enjoy all the iterations of the monsters. I enjoy the pterodactyl version of Rodan. As much as I thought I wasn't going to, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Really, really do. The fact that they made Rodan not one or two of its species, but just a flock of birds, is pretty much what it is. I'm okay with it because of the way they're utilized. I like it. And of course, it's got the Rodan Raw, Michael Dougherty. I'm looking at you. I'm sorry. I will never let that go. I will never let that go.
You'll die in your grave will say, and due to aneurysm from Rodan.
Bro, just
you Dougherty.
Please, just come to my gravesite and just hit the Rodan Raw on your phone. That's all I need. Come to my gravesite.
He doesn't need the Dragon Balls. He just needs the Roar restored.
Yes. That's it. I'm coming back. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed. I enjoy Rodan. I enjoy Anguirus. I love Jet Jaguar. I love the characters. I love the animation. I love the animation. I do. I love it. I love how they utilize a straight up cell shade animation, like traditional animation, and then do CG with the creatures. But at the same time, the creatures look like they're traditionally animated, but then glossed over with a CG filter, you know? And I love that. It just looks good. Like, Rodan looks cool, but Jesus Christmas, Anguirus looks dope. The monster I thought was Gabbro when we first saw the trailers. It's Salunga now, or Salunga, whatever that you want to call it, whatever they call it. I fucking love that thing in the show. I love it. The way it moves, what it does, the motion, it's dope. Manda, pretty freaking cool. Reminds me of the Tiamat in the Godzilla books, in the Godzilla comic books, the Godzilla prequel, what Dominion. I just reread it yesterday, as a matter of fact. So that's cool. But then there's Godzilla itself, and I'm not gonna get into spoilers, but it is. Oh, hang on. Oh, wait, what's this?
Yes. I found this picture.
Yep, that's the one. I don't even want to. Yep, that's episode 12 or 13. I ain't even there yet. But then there's Godzilla, and Godzilla. Y'all know I hate Shin Godzilla. I don't like Shin Godzilla. I don't. Okay. If I ever do a fucking video tour of my movie bookshelf, you will see that I have all my kaiju movies. And of course, this goes in order. It goes all like Blu-ray 4K type shits, right? And then DVDs. But you will see that, you know, I have my Star Wars because I do love my Star Wars. But Godzilla's right there. And I'm thinking of switching it up. I think I might put Godzilla ahead of it just because of the last 3 Star Wars movies. I digress. But I have my Godzilla movies. Shin Godzilla is not in the mix. He's not on my top shelf. Absolutely not. Then my second shelf, I have like all the superhero movies. And then at the end of that particular part of the shelf, I have all the giant monster movies. So I'll have like King Kong 2005. I'll have Kong Skull Island. No offense, it doesn't get to my top shelf. I just don't like it that way. Like King of the Monsters after Godzilla vs. Kong should not be on my top shelf. But because it's called Godzilla King of the Monsters, it's got to be up there. It's name only, right? Name only. Cloverfield, fucking Jaws 1, Jurassic Park, all the movies. They're all on that shelf there. Rampage, they're all on that shelf. Pacific Rim 1 and 2, all on that shelf, right? Those are my giant monster movies, right? Shin Godzilla, and then everything else comes alphabetically. Well, Shin Godzilla starts with an S. It's all the way down there with an S. Hell, I have 1998's Godzilla in the giant monster movie section, and not Shin Godzilla. That's how much I dislike Shin Godzilla. I don't like that movie. But this anime? Good Lord. Good Lord. This anime? This is what I would have... If they would have made this anime Shin Godzilla, this is it.
If they make... It kind of goes off a little bit of a topic, but if they make that... because they announced a while back that you can pre-order the first season of Singular Point on Blu-ray in a collector box set, and it comes with a vinyl Bandai figure of Godzilla.
I saw that. You sent that to us.
If they flips that and put the SH Monster Arts in it, I would totally do it. That SH Monster Arts is great.
No, I did. I saw that. I saw that yesterday or this morning. I forgot when, but oh yeah, that SH Monster Arts looks great.
It's huge, though. That tail is like bigger than Shin Godzilla's tail.
Right, and it doesn't have a damn laser, which is great. Singular Point, to me, is the unofficial sequel to Shin Godzilla. And while it has nothing to do with Shin Godzilla, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of Shin Godzilla and turns it into its own. There's a lot of Shin Godzilla in Singular Point, especially when Godzilla shows up. And I am totally, fucking down to the bloodletting. Do you remember when Godzilla and Shin Godzilla first comes on show in first, second form, whatever the fucking form it was, and the blood is coming out of its gills? Dude, that's in Singular Point. It's in Singular Point. But it's just done better, in my opinion. What I love, again, I'm not going to spoil nothing. What I love about a Singular Point is they utilize the music the right way, and they use the classic music. And I love it. So that brings me to the greatest Godzilla moment that Toho has had since 2005. And why I say 2005? Because to me, again, I don't like Shin Godzilla, and the last Toho movie that came out was Final Wars in 2005. 4 or 5, whatever you want to call it. Episode 10, the last 5 minutes of that episode, the Godzilla March comes into play. And it is, oh my God, I can't, I'm about to bust out crying again. I literally cried watching it. Like, I don't care what you may think of me, but motherfucking tears started to fall out of my fucking eyes, and I'm trying to punch myself. Stop crying, you motherfucker. What are you doing? It hit me because I didn't expect it. It hit me, and again, I'm used to right now, I'm used to Legendary Godzilla. I'm used to Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm used to something different. This shit punched me in my gut emotionally because it was like, yeah, here's what you really love. Bam! Godzilla. And I was like, the Godzilla March starts to play, and Godzilla pops up, and it's Godzilla. Oh my God, when I tell you, yes, it's the Singular Point Godzilla. You might not like it, you might love it. I didn't care. To me, and when you see the anime, you will understand what I'm saying. It was Godzilla. All the Shin Godzilla shit, all the tropes from Shin Godzilla is here in this series, especially when Godzilla comes. And then finally, we got Godzilla, but we got Godzilla with the fucking march. And man, when I tell you, it epically blew me away, man. It fucking ruined me. I was sitting there yesterday with tears falling out my eyes, and I'm trying to stop it. I'm saying, what the fuck is wrong with you? But it was everything.
Sensation.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. The last time I felt like this was in December of 2020, around Christmas, when Luke Skywalker showed up on The Mandalorian. I sat back, I said, no. That's Red 5. That's Luke's X-Wing. Are you kidding me? And then sure as shit, there he was. And as a Star Wars fucking fanatic who didn't get what he wanted, yes, that's right, I'm one of those fanboys. It was everything. And it hit me so hard, bam, right in the chest. But this was different. This was different because I have gotten Godzilla. And I've gotten pretty much what I wanted. But I didn't expect to get that nostalgic feeling. And that's what the ending of episode 10 did for me. It gave me that feeling of nostalgia. Hearing the march. And seeing Godzilla. And I mean God fucking Zilla, right? And hearing him. Oh, and that's one thing I will say in this spoiler, and this is really not a spoiler, but hearing Godzilla in this series is like the greatest Godzilla sound of all time. Because it's like all of the Godzilla sounds rolled into one. And I cannot get enough of it. It is beautiful. It's beautiful. And episode 10 does it so much justice. It hurts. It hurts. Like, I'm telling you, I was sitting there, my lip was quivering, and my eyes were watering. I was in. And then, Brother Chase, I think you would appreciate this shit. As the march went on and Godzilla got stronger, and I wouldn't say stronger, but as Godzilla got more Godzilla during the sequence, they started chanting during the march.
Yeah, I remember seeing that video on Instagram of part of that, and I loved it.
And you know how I feel about King of the Monsters. Remember in the original, like in the beginning, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, all that, all that Bear McCreary shit.
Yeah,
dude, nope, it absolutely fucking works here because it was the march, and it wasn't overzealous. It just worked. And for everybody out here listening, if you haven't seen it yet and are waiting for Netflix, just go to episode 10 and go right to the last 6 minutes of it and just watch it. And then go back and watch the rest of the, then go back and watch the whole thing. But I'm telling you,
it takes of what you're leading up to.
Bro, it blew my fucking head off. I loved it. And to see that Godzilla, yo, regardless on how I feel about certain looks of it, the 20,000 rows of teeth he has in his mouth, all of that, I put it aside because at that particular moment in time, when he stood up and he roared and that music played, that was the epitome of Godzilla.
I love how in that they used like the very like grungy '89 roar, and then mixed with the Millennium roar.
Yeah,
like that. Like I like that. It's about time they started doing that again.
Just putting it all together. And making such a. And I mean, look, Godzilla's roar is iconic. Let's not try to beat around that bush, right? Godzilla's roar is iconic.
Right.
Kong don't have an iconic roar. Godzilla has an iconic roar. Gamera has an iconic roar. But outside of that, everything else is... What?
T-Rex from Jurassic Park has iconic roar.
He does. Cannot knock that. The T-Rex definitely does have an iconic roar from Jurassic Park. But as far as old school, because you would say that because, what, you were like 5 when that movie first came out? You know what I mean?
No, I was born in 95. That movie didn't come out till what, like 90?
2, 3. You're right. So you weren't even around. All right, so that makes sense for you. For me, it doesn't. That's why I'm saying Godzilla Gamera, because I wasn't around then. But I had so much movies, so much, good God Almighty, what's the word? I had everything there, there was some material. I had so much material. I knew the Raw. It's iconic. They're classic. Where, you hear Kong in 33 he has one Raw. In 76 he has another Raw. 2005 he has another Raw. 2016, 17 has another Raw. All right, whatever, Kong. But Godzilla's Raw is iconic. So to hear that, but to hear it with all of these different iterations of it from time, oh God, it's gorgeous. And then in the background, hearing again the march, but with chanting. It's something else, man. This shit is another level. It's another fucking level. And I loved it. And I can't wait. I can't wait for it to come out on Netflix, but at the same time, I can't wait for the next 2 episodes. Because the way episode 11 ended, it was such a cliffhanger. It's such a mystery going on. I'm like, what's going on? Godzilla's Singular Point, that shit is official. I give that shit 2 thumbs up. Yep, I'm interested. I don't understand a lot of it because, again, in Japan, man, they're just on another level when it comes to like intellect. And maybe I'm not speaking for anybody else but myself, but I'm like fucking stuck on stupid watching some of these episodes. I'm like, what's going on? What does this mean? Where is Godzilla or the other monsters? Like, that's all I want to see at that point. I'm like, I don't get anything else. I just want to see the monsters, and they give it to you, and they give you the monsters. They move a story along, and again, some of the subtitles are created by some people. Some of the subtitles are created by the others. So sometimes I get it and everything flows, and then other times I'm fucking confounded. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. So I can't wait to see it in English, dubbed. And I usually don't do English dubs. I usually just stick to the Japanese. But I can't wait to see this one particular in English because I know there's going to be like one particular story just set. And they're going to go on this one script. And hopefully I can grasp what they're saying and what it means. And I'm okay with that. I rambled, brother. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Fine, man. I was gonna say is, I'm trying to stay away as much as possible from it, and I'm glad I saw what I did because I wasn't excited for this until I saw what I saw on Instagram, and now that I have, I'm like, I can't wait for the 24th because when that drops, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna be excited binging this because I'm stoked. Now I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with like the merit of the first leading episodes until that episode pops up when Godzilla becomes Godzilla. But I'm excited to see if I'm different at the same time because what I saw when Godzilla does turn into Godzilla and that march and the chanting, I was like, cool. This actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, it does definitely not. And again, there's so much more to it, but I won't get into it until it comes out on Netflix. But I mean, like, the ideas, there's so many ideas behind Godzilla himself in this show that I love that they're doing as far as evolution goes. And I love it. And that's why I'm like, yeah, this right here, if this was Shin Godzilla, I would have loved Shin Godzilla. You know, this to me is because this to me is like Shin Godzilla 1.5. It really is. That's what it feels like. But again, I know there's millions of people who love Shin Godzilla, and we have our people here on the podcast who love Shin Godzilla. If this is what Shin Godzilla was in 2016, then sign me the fuck up. But again, we'll talk and we'll get into spoiler details in about 3 weeks when it drops on Netflix. Now, that being said, I don't know if we're coming back until 3 weeks when that comes out and we binge it and we get to talk about it. But it's been far too long, my brother. It's been way too long. Way too long.
We'll come back and talk about the GVK bonus features.
Yeah, pretty much. But
menu screen if it's better or not.
Oh my God! Now that I think about it, that's coming out before Singular Point is.
So, I set the itinerary.
Listen, hey, I got Godzilla vs. Kong on Amazon Prime. I bought that shit digitally the night it came out. I was like, yep, I'm bored. And tomorrow when I, come home from work, I'm going to watch it. And sure as shit I did. I came home that Friday. I threw it on. And I loved every minute of it all over again. I will say this. HBO Max presented that movie in Dolby Vision, Atmos, whatever the fuck, in the highest quality your TV can manage. And holy shit, did it pop on my TV. And I said this in the previous podcast. It pops on my TV. Buying it off of Amazon digitally, while it does look good, and it really does, it doesn't have that pop that the HBO Max version had. So that's kind of disappointing. But it's there, and it looks good, and like everything moves, it's smooth, like the frame rate, everything looks fucking dope. But there was I don't know what it was. Maybe it's the Dolby Atmos. I don't know. I don't know what HBO Max did to make it look the best it could possibly look on my TV, and it really did. Whereas when I'm watching it on Amazon, and I'm like, this is fucking fantastic. I'm so happy. It looks great. But it's like 2% off, like 2 or 3% off. Where I notice it, I'm like, oh man. So I'm hoping that when I do get the Blu-ray, hopefully, or the 4K, because it's coming Dolby Atmos and all that fun shit, we look good. We look golden. And I'll be honest with you, if I have to buy a better 4K player, then so be it, Jedi. I'll buy a better 4K player. I really would. Because what I watched on HBO Max on my television, it was Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. It popped off the screen and was in my living room. It was like watching a hologram, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I love that movie, and I love you. And I love you, everybody out there listening. That must mean it's time to wrap up. Brother Chase, thank you for joining me once again on the Godzilla.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a long time. I've been waiting to talk some Godzilla.
Yeah, it's been a long time, like that song. It's been such a long time. I'm sorry. But no, seriously, I'm sorry. It has been a long time. We will be back, definitely. We're going to be talking about Godzilla Singular Point coming up. We'll do a full review of it. I wanted to talk about that one scene of episode 10, and we, of course, had other Godzilla news, the ride version of Godzilla, and just how dope it was. But yeah, Brother Chase, man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much again.
Absolutely not a problem at all. It's been a pleasure.
And thank all of y'all out there for listening to me ramble for a bit. We will be back. We will be back sooner than the last time. And we'll see you then. Peace.